How's it going, guys? My name's Shane. Welcome back to the Horror Basement, another installment in the classic horror review series. Today we're going to be talking about A Shriek in the Night from 1933. Now, the beginning of this movie is probably my favorite part of it. The movie begins with the titular shriek in the night. You hear someone yelling, and then you get a long shot of a mannequin being thrown from a tall building. And because this is 1933 and the art of filmmaking is still relatively new, they don't know to cut away from the mannequin before it hits the ground. So you get the full shot of just this, like, department store mannequin in a suit just kind of hit the ground. And that's where the movie begins. It turns out that this mannequin was actually meant to be rich businessman and philanthropist Mr. Harker, who lived in a luxury apartment in the penthouse of this very tall, very affluent apartment building. And the rest of the movie essentially follows the investigation into his murder, whether it was, a suicide, an accident, or a murder that caused him to essentially fall from this window or balcony to his death, many stories below. And of course, it's found out in short order that his secretary, Pat, was actually a plant sent by one of the local newspapers to essentially spy on Mr. Harker and his connection to the local mob boss, who the mob boss is just named Martini. Like, they went with the most lowbrow Italian stereotype name. I guess they could have called him, like, Mr. Spaghetti, but they went with the mob boss's name is Martini. So Pat was sent to be Mr. Harker's new secretary to basically spy on him and his connection to this mafia, to the mafia and all that. But the other main character of the movie is another intrepid young reporter named Ted, who weasels his way past the cops and into the apartment, only to run into his rival, Pat, because they know each other and work at separate newspapers in this town or city. And of course, the rest of the movie is them teaming up to solve the case while falling in love upon the way. So it's more of a murder mystery than an out-and-out horror movie, but considering the movie was made in 1933 and it wasn't like a major picture house like Universal, it wasn't like one of these major studios, I'll give it some slack because there are actually a couple scenes where it's the murder of other people that live in the apartment building is shown, and you have some decent scenes where there's the shadowed figure of the masked mystery killer, stalking his victims, and eventually, a good few more people other than Mr. Harker die before the mystery is finally unraveled by our intrepid duo. So overall, not a terrible film. You get a little bit of everything, like I said, a little bit of police procedural, a little bit of murder mystery, and honestly a little bit of a romantic comedy with the interplay between Ted and Pat. So not a terrible film, but viewing it through modern eyes, I wouldn't recommend, a second watch for myself, or honestly a first watch for you, because it doesn't do anything spectacularly well. It's a fair to middling film, to be honest. That's going to be it for today's video. I have something really special lined up for the next video. Hope you all enjoy that. If you want to check that out, hit that subscribe button, leave a like if you enjoyed it, drop a comment of a movie you want me to review, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.